everyone, my name is Jeffrey and welcome back to episode 36 of my Satisfactory Let's Play series. In this video, it's part 2 of the new swamp project, making another step closer to 30 fused modular frames per minute. Today is all about adding the concrete production, along with a few other manifold lines. Ending the day off with a cool new water pump station is a good level of progress through the project. Thank you for all the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. Well, it's part 2 of our project here, and it's time to do some pump stations, a little bit of concrete, wet concrete that is, some modular frames, what just happened in front of me? And that car's a real bully sometimes. Anyway, we gotta do some encased industrial pipes, so we got some assemblers to set up today for the modular frames and pipes, and then we'll finish it off with the aluminum constructors set up, I think, nearby the train station. I've kind of got things marked out and ready to go. Today is actually moving day, IRL for me. This goes up on, I think it's the Thursday, which is May 1st. I can't believe it's already May 1st. Man, time has just been, this year is just, flying by. Now let's head on over. We'll get started because I don't have a lot of time today. But we're going to get this pump station down. I think I have a general idea of where it's going to go. Obviously, from last time, we were setting things up underneath the factory. I don't have anything, like I'm still open to ideas, so I'll maybe keep ideas open on this video too. And then maybe I'll implement some of your guys' cool things underneath the factory. I'm not quite sure what to do with it. I thought it was like be a cool like scientific research facility sort of thing, so I think we can do some cool things. Alright, one laggy human cannon trip later. We are here back at the, it's lagging a lot today. We are back here at the factory. I do have the train station laid out. I was just trying to figure out how much room we got to work with. I do only need 6 train cars, which is nice. So we've got some spot laid out right here for where the unloading boxes are all going to be. And then I figured right in front of it, we could do the constructors for that'll actually make the aluminum. Was it aluminum casings? So I need 25 of them. I may do 30. We'll see how this goes as we go through here. And then they're all just going to be linked up in front of this train station right here. So I've got this whole area marked out for that. That is going to be the last thing on our to-do list for today. Although, you know what, I may just go ahead and throw down the constructors while we're here. We'll just hook it up out in a little bit. So the whole idea here has, got to bring some power over. There we go. Okay, so the general idea was, as just like last time, we'll go one in from everybody. So if we start basically on that one right there. So if I go ahead and grab my blueprints for this, for the aluminum constructors. Yeah, I got ourselves a nice stackable blueprint here that I've just been using for everybody. I just swap out the recipes. And I think easiest way to do this is have everyone facing this direction. So let me make sure that is almost in the right spot. There we go, right there. So we're going to go one and then another one next to it. So this is how I think we're going to do it. Since I know I can fit 3 stacks of constructors, I figured that's why I would do the 30. So we'll just do, sorry, my brain stopped working there for a second. I actually don't need the stackable one because I can actually fit the 3 groups of 10 right in here. So if I just go ahead and lock that one in position right there with everyone coming in this way, pop that one in there. Then we're going to stick this one right next to it. It's going to gotta be in the right position though. It's also not turned. There we go. Is that? I think that's the right spot right there. And then right next to it for this one. Oh, I think you can actually go over one. There we go. I shifted the one over in the middle, so now everyone's evenly spaced apart. So we got one block on this outer side, one block here in the front. I may actually, no, that should be fine. I was gonna say I could probably shift it back one, but I think that'll give me enough space I need for actually putting these in here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, voice gave it. You have 6 inputs here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we just so happen to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's going to be as easy as literally just putting down 6 industrial containers just to handle the overflow, like the offload from the train. And then just hook each of those up to a constructor output here. Well, that was so much easier than I expected. Now I've just ended up doing my to-do list in the wrong order, like the complete opposite order. But that's okay, because that basically is really all we needed to do for that one. And then once we actually have the full train line coming in, these can all be hooked up. So these are all currently set to, I think it would be taking in 900 per minute. Like this is way more than we need. So I'm just going to do some quick downclocking here. Or sorry, not... This would be 90, what is this? 90 times 5? Would be 450, right? So I need to drop these to take, I think it's 375 per minute. It is indeed 375 per minute. So I need 375 divided by 5. Okay, so each of these, instead of taking in 90, I want them to take in 75. So let's drop this to, let's say 50. Oh, that was a pretty good guess. So let's go ahead and just put that all on the line here. Actually, that would basically be the same for everybody. So every constructor in the group here is actually going to be downclocked the same way. There we go. That was a super easy step to finish and just get done out of the way. So now we can move on to actually doing the pump station. So let's head on down to our very bottom section. Where again, if you guys have any cool ideas for things I can add in for like decorations, and it doesn't even have to be functional, it can just be something really cool. Leave it down in the comments down below. Ah, the beautiful, wonderful elevator music. Okay, I'm switching jetpacks because I know I'm going to have to go a pretty decent ways before I can actually put in the water pumps that we need. Because like I said last time, we need 900 water. And something tells me I'm not going to be able to fit enough pumps right here. I mean, we'll give it a try. So let's say, what's a fully overclocked water pump do? Okay, so a fully overclocked water extractor can do 300 per minute. So I need 3 pipes doing 300. So basically, if I can fit 3 water extractors in here, then we should be fine. So let me take this one out really quick. Let me see. Actually, I should have left it there. Looks like, oh, I can definitely get 3 in here. Okay, so let me build a little thing here. Actually put the pumps inside of. Oh god, I'm gonna fall. Okay, so that will be basically where the pumps would need to be. There is gas things need to get taken out here. That should be fine for now, I think. Let's take that one out just in case. Okay, so that would be enough room. I'm going to bring the pipes to... I'm going to have to take out the trees anyway, so I'm going to take out this tree right here. Oh god, something hurts there too. Who is... Oh. There we go. Okay. Now, another just little setback there, just where the pipes are going to go. Or just a work area, I mean. And then, uh-oh. Okay, problem dealt with. Pipeline junction. Then we'll just get our first water pump in here. One, two, and... Oh, this one's trying to place underground again. There we go, there's 3. So let's get these fully overclocked, and then each one's going to get a pipe. And then we'll bring those 3 pipes to... I guess we'll bring it like along here. And then we'll just bend it on over to where we're going to need it to be. I think the refineries for the concrete are going to go right about here. So actually, I guess it doesn't have to go too far at all, because it's just going to get pumped up to this section. I think I marked these out previously, so I know where things are going to go. So over here is our, this is our assemblers for our encased pipes. They're going to go right here. Yeah, okay, now it's starting to, it's all coming back to me now. So we got the 9 concrete refineries are all going to go right here. So we can kind of do that before we bring the pipes over, just so I know where they're going to come in. So it's going to be in 3 groups of 3 because each one is just going to need 300 water for it. So let me go ahead and put those in. I guess I can switch back to my hover pack here. And we'll grab our blueprints. And I don't think I actually have a pure or a wet concrete refinery blueprint, do I? I do not, but it just takes in a solid and a liquid and puts out a solid. So really I can just use any of these ones right here, and then I can just change it over as we go. Yeah, that should do. So that'll be our 3 refiners. Those are all, you just need to be set. I used the copper one. I'm going to set these now to wet concrete. Copy the settings on that one, and then we'll just paste it all over the other 3. And then no one has to be underclocked or overclocked here. This is just going to be straight up 9 refineries. So we're going to do just 3 groups of 3 to going down the line here. And then we'll go back over to our water extractors, which turned out to be way closer than I thought they were going to have to be. So then we'll just run that pipe over and we'll hook it up to here. Perfect, it fits right in. So it's actually going to get split a little bit. It's not actually all going to be one line altogether. Some of it's going to go to the encased industrial pipe, and then some of it is going to go to the heavy encased frame. But this water line can not all, I mean, you can connect it all together if you want, but it is going to just need like one connection here, one connection here, and then one connection right in the middle here. So basically, as long as you're feeding every single one of your groups of 3 in the middle, you can connect it all if you want, just to make it a full long circuit. So you don't have any like flow issues or anything like that. But it should definitely work out properly. Let's get this all hooked up together here. I don't have any power here. What's going on? There we go. Finally. Okay. So like I said, if you want to hook them up, you can. If you don't want to hook them up, no, not like that though. Pipe always, I always get a lot of misclicks when I'm trying to put them down like that. Let's get that down through there. All right. And then what I'm going to do is from here, make sure I actually have room underneath. Okay. Oh, I'm going to fall to my death. Don't do that. There we go. I'm going to figure out where each of the middle inputs is. That'll be this one for you. So we'll grab a pipeline floor hole. We'll line that up with this one. Is that lined up? Looks like it. So that one, skip you, the 2 of you. Oh, should have lined it up on this line here. It would make more sense. There we go. And then skipping 2 to the one on the end here. Goes right there. So I'm going to connect these up like this with my horizontal to vertical pipes. And those will be our water inputs. And then I'm also going to grab, just so I don't have any flow issues, right here. We're going to grab our straight pipe build mode. Makes it so much easier. Bring another pipe support here. Another one here. Is this necessary? Probably not. It's just another one of my fail safes I like to do when you're working with fluids, just to make sure you don't have any like flow issues. There we go. So that'll be the 900 water coming in once we actually get the water hooked up from down below here. But here is the input pipes that we're going to need to hook up from here. So I guess I'll just have to run a little path over, and then we can actually just hook them up directly. It's going to be pretty clean getting them over here, actually. All right, so we have 3 water pumps here. We have 3 water pumps here, all doing 300 per minute. And they are going to follow along this line here. We'll come back here and do a little bit of decorating a little bit later on. Unfortunately, I have very little time to be doing the episodes right now, so I'm just trying to do them as best I can. Hopefully they're still enjoyable for you guys. So we're going to be bringing these pipes down from the ceiling here. If I can go to my pipe section. I'm using Mark II pipes, even though you can definitely use Mark I. But I feel like I generally use Mark II pipes anytime I can anyway. So let me make sure I actually have these sort of even close to where I need them to be. Let's figure out where so they're in the middle of this one here. So that means they should basically be in the middle of this part like this. So if I put one of you here, let's do a little test. Bring you down with our horizontal to vertical. Oh god, that's way further back than I thought it was. That's okay though. Okay, so we're gonna bring that one down there. We'll have to extend you out a little bit. Bring you over as well. And then I will put in a couple more pipeline supports so I can bring these pipes down. Alright, down pipes complete. There we go. Nice, looking good so far. If I can actually get these into position. Let's go. The build is going pretty smoothly so far. I'm not going to say I'm not impressed sometimes when I don't make a whole bunch of mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, it may have been one that I'm moving into a place that I have to go up 4 flights of stairs with no elevator. So moving is going to be, well, moving is going to be a whole lot of fun for me. Wish me the best of luck on that one. I'm going to bring these pipes over, get these connected up, bring the water over, and that will be the pump station complete technically for now. Like I said, we'll come back, we'll make this a little bit prettier later on. I think I might do actually some, like I was mentioning before, do some Twitch streams, and in those Twitch streams probably be doing a whole lot of decorating. Because it's a little, I tend to like change my mind a lot while I'm doing decorating, so it's a little bit harder to do as like an actual recording. But I think, you know, as a stream, it would be pretty fun to hang out with you guys and build some stuff together. And then we'll actually be able to like maybe bounce some ideas off each other. You guys can give me some cool buildables I might be able to put into the world. I'm always looking for more inspiration. Man, it just gets so insanely dark here at nighttime. So essentially I just took the time, I was like, I'll put some of the lights up. I put up some of my little fence, my little modern railings and everything. And I've got everything split up. So from this one right here, I'm going to have 220 concrete. It's not like exactly split up. It's more or less manifolded. And then 500 concrete is going to come out of this section right, not right here. It's actually the one next to it. It's this one right here. There we go. So basically what's happening is this one is splitting right here and going into this one because in order to get 220, I needed 2.75. So instead of doing some underclocking of this one and overclocking on the other, I just took the easy route, and it should work out properly. You could technically just move them all in one line anyway because it's 720 total, and you could just manifold it all and split it up later for the encased pipes and the manufacturers. But I figure this way, I'll actually give it a little bit of a head start in terms of the splitting properly. And then should be able to work things out from there, bringing them down. Probably put a floor hole right here, actually. Put one in now, just so I know. I'm going to start putting them in a little bit earlier on, because sometimes if I don't, I will put something here, and then I'll forget that I actually need to put a floor hole here. Alright, floor holes are hooked up and done. So now let's go ahead and do the actual limestone coming in, which is going to have to be from right... Try these facing, just so I know which way I got to bring them in. Okay, this is actually facing the opposite direction I thought it was. So I should have actually faced these the other way, but that's okay. The water's coming in this way, so let's grab a floor hole to put right here, facing into there. And then we'll just connect all of our little belts up through here. Now, this is going to have to be all turned into a Mark 6 conveyor belt eventually, because we're bringing in 1,080 limestone, but instead of like trying to figure out how to split it all up, I figured I would just tap this one pier node right here, and then we'll bring that in from down below. So we'll figure where that floor hole is. Hopefully it doesn't cross the pipes. Excellent, it does not. Let's grab our little lift here, and then we'll just bring this down and over to that limestone spot in the end. Throw a miner on it, we'll get it hooked up to power, and we'll be done concrete. There we go. Limestone is a fly-in, so this is only going to be able to put out 780 for now, which is totally fine. At least that'll get this mostly up and running. This whole factory is like, we won't even be able to have 2,250 aluminum ingots coming in. So that's not going to bother me too much. We're pretty close, like I said, to getting those Mark 6 conveyor belts in Tier 9. The only thing we really have left to set up after this factory is done is the copper powder in order to make the nuclear pasta, because that one can't really do by hand. And then we'll be able to do the rest of them pretty much hand feeding to some manufacturers, and we'll be in tier 9 finally. And there's going to be just so many other new projects to take on. So now that I've got the concrete finished off and done, we got our pump station finished off and done, and accidentally we got the aluminum constructors finished off and done in the first part of the episode. And now we can do the assemblers for the encased industrial pipe. So I'm going to be using my blueprints here. Not train stuff. I got to do assemblers. I don't know. Do I need to do stacking? It's 30 assemblers. So we're going to do, I think I was going to do, was it 3 rows of 10? I think I can fit going through here. I figured out how I was going to do this. Oh, wait, no. I think I was going to do maybe 5 groups of 5. And I had this laid out. Now I forget. Okay, now I remember. Sorry, I had to get my brain got a little confused because I did have this like more or less pre-planned. So what we're going to do is we're going to be putting some assemblers in here. I'm going to line it up with this one. So we got a 1 spot going all the way around. And then we're going to be doing these in groups of 5. So I'm going to do 3 there, and then we'll do the 2 next to it. Let me grab the 3 going down. The reason I'm doing stacking is because that way I can do the groups. There'll be 2 groups of 15 basically. So I'll have this one right here. I'll pop this one on the back. You'll let me connect it properly, hopefully. It should basically line up with this back spot here. And then we'll just shift that into position. And there we go. That'll be our first groups of 3. And then we'll just get the blueprint for our number 2. 2 assemblers stacking. Pop those in right next to it. I may actually nudge these over a little bit. There we go. 15 assemblers. That is going to be the bottom layer. And then we're going to grab my non-stacking version and we'll finish this up on the top. Grab our 3 assemblers. I think if I go into blueprint mode here, it'll be a little bit easier. And things should line up. Beautiful. I have 30 assemblers in here now. I just will have to connect up all the belts. And then these can all be set to encased industrial pipes. Now, originally I was going to need just 100. So 6 times 30 obviously is more than 100. It's actually 180. So I built 5 assemblers more than I needed to. So I need to be able to take off 80 of the, wait, what? Sorry, that's why I confused myself. We're doing the encased industrial pipe alternate recipe, which makes 4 per minute, and 4 times 30 is 120. So we actually need to take off 20. So I'm going to downclock 10 of these by 50%. There we go. So I just ended up doing these 10 back here. Now you could end up splitting it evenly. I think it would basically be, so it'd be 100 divided by 30, which would be a gross number of 30.3333, like the continuously running one. So you can do that if you want to keep it all evenly split. However, I think these are all kind of getting fed by the same manifold system, so it's not too big of a deal to have some of them downclocked and some of them not. Should still work pretty evenly. So now the only thing we have to do is hook up all the belts through here, and then we're going to be bringing the concrete over. We're going to be bringing 500 concrete over from here, which is this line. I guess this technically doesn't have to go down below. This can stay up on this floor. We'll bring that up to the ceiling actually. Right there, and then we'll bring that over and we'll hook that up to that. And then the other one that we're going to be bringing down is 600 steel pipe per minute. That's going to be coming from our constructors up above here. So we'll get those hooked up probably a little bit later. I'm not going to worry about them too much for now. The main thing I want to get down is our overall plans, and then we'll start hooking up belts as we kind of go along. So that is also another thing I did out of order today. The encased pipes is technically done off the to-do list. We also have to do the modular frames, but we're going to get all these hooked up through here. So this encased industrial beam is going to be sent to a manufacturer, which I should have enough room on this floor, so I still have to put in a good amount of manufacturers. I have to put in 20 blenders. And then so over here I've got my 40 assemblers area for the modular frames, and I'm actually only going to put down 20 just because 40 assemblers would take up too much room. I may end up adding some more floor space, maybe off the side at some point anyway. Is that a purple slug that I missed? No, that's just a quartz thing. It kind of looks like a purple slug to my blind eyes. So this section is basically unmarked. Now, for now, this is going to be the manufacturers and the blenders, I think. And then it should be able to fit everything in. If we can't, we'll just, you know, slide in a little bit extra off the side there. So 20 assemblers in my little back corner section over here for our modular frames. I think I have it measured out more or less that I can do 2 rows of 10 going down like that. I don't have to stack anybody, which would be nice. If I do, then what I'll probably end up doing is I'll do like 5, 5, 5, and 5. And that would be 20 as well. So we'll see which one works better. But I think I was able to do it where I did 10 going down this way. I grabbed stacking again anyway. So if we go to like this. Actually, wait, let me take a look. Yeah, the way this is, maybe I was actually going to do like the 5s going down the way here. Alright, I was putting stuff down and I started to hate it. So I moved it around like several different times. And now I think I finally decided that I've got it to a point where I like it. So we've got a group of 10 stackables here. And then what this is going to allow me to do is also change the back up here. So we're actually going to be putting the side path going this way. Then that will free me up more room going through this section for more of my blenders and my manufacturers, which is probably what's really actually going to help me out in the end. So I think if I just dumb this down and you get just a little like bonus area right here, which I'll probably use for, maybe we'll drop like the stuff down here. Or if I need to do any balancing. Oh, I think I need to, but we're going to have these set here. And then I'll put the other 10 on top here. And that will be my 20. And then everyone is going to have to be overclocked just all the way. So we're going to set this to the modular frames. Going to get reinforced iron plates and the iron rods. So this is going to get overclocked double. Or sorry, not all the way. But everyone's going to overclock to 200%. And then we're going to do the same thing on top with another 10, and then that will be the modular frames. See, just like that. It's almost like I'm a professional at this game. So that'll be our modular frames, and they're all overclocked. Only need 20. And then so those modular frames are going to go from here, probably right across to here. So everything should be not too overlapping, I don't think. Some of these assemblers for the encased pipes, these are going to go to this manufacturer section as well. So pretty much most things are just going to kind of end up being sent to this area. And I don't think I should have too many issues about things overlapping, but I mean, if I do, things can always be just moved around a little bit. Alright, so before we end the episode off, since we made pretty decent time, like I said, there's definitely a shorter episode just compared to normal, just to, you know, handle my current moving situation and getting things all packed up and ready to go. Once we're set up, I'm really looking forward to diving back in, just taking my time with things. You know, maybe do some streaming, hanging out with you guys live, and then maybe I'll be able to actually play some of the other games again, like the TCG Card Shop Simulator and you know, all the other fun stuff. Subnautica 2's coming out pretty soon, early access anyway. It doesn't have a confirmed date, but I mean, it is 2025, so I'm assuming probably summer-ish is going to be like early access, maybe like early fall, but I'm really looking forward to that one. So to end the episode off today, I think we can go ahead and mark out what we're going to need for, it's going to be, we still need 11 manufacturers and 20 blenders in here. So I may end up stacking the blenders like I did in the previous build. It's not that hard to stack blenders, especially when you're using a gas, because we're just bringing in nitrogen gas and not actually a fluid. So we may end up doing that. I mean, you can really see how laggy things get when I'm just trying to actually do some decorations, but it's going to look really cool when it's all done. All right, sorry, that was too laggy even for me to try and get through. So we have marked this all out now. So now I just need to have a section for 11 blenders, 11 manufacturers. You can maybe do 6 and 6 if it works out. But I think I'll measure out where I'm going to need the blenders first, because they're probably going to take up quite a bit of room. So I need 20 blenders. So how big is my, let's grab a blueprint for a blender here. I'll use my cooling systems just for an example, not my stackable one. My non-stackable one. Let me see how much space these take up. So if I go that shift one to there, shift that one into position here. So it looks like I'll probably be able to get, I'd probably get 3 blenders in right here going this way. So instead, let's try going the other way. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I forgot how big blenders were when I was measuring this out. So as you can see, I'm not actually gonna leave these here, but we've got 8 going down here. So I think what our best bet is going to be to do, obviously there's no room left for 12 manufacturers at this point. I still need to get a bunch more blenders. I think my best bet is going to be to double stack them here, and then that'll be 16. And then let me see if I can actually, let me see if this idea is actually going to make any sense or if it's actually going to work. So let's line these up here. Give it a little enough room to actually move. Actually, technically these could be stacked over top like this. Okay, that might actually help. That might work in my favor a little bit more now. So if I put those in there like that, that would be 16. Okay, well, yeah, I wouldn't even have to stack them. So I could actually, yeah, so if I did that, double stacked it to 16, then I could just do like 4 more in front of it like this. No, I still wouldn't have enough room. So instead of like trying to squeeze everything, I may as well just leave myself some room to work with. So I think what I'll do then is I'll do non-stacking. I'll do the 16 here, and then I'll see if I can fit the remaining 4 here. You know what? I think it'll work. It seems like it'll lay out properly. You know, everyone's not facing exactly the same way, but that'll be okay. Because there's going to be a lot of things flying through here anyway, because a lot of this house kind of has to be hooked up a little bit separately. Like the aluminum casing, we're bringing it down 1,500 aluminum casings. So even with Mark 6 conveyor belts, you can't move that all on one conveyor belt. So there's going to be things flying around down here. And then for the manufacturers then, I guess what we can do is we can come out either, I gotta figure out which one is going to be the best side to come out. It's going to be either this side or the other side, and we'll just cover up more. Or maybe we could come out this part here. Actually, yeah, why don't we just come out this front section? Because we're not really covering anything or blocking anything. We'll extend ourselves out a little bit through here, and then that way we can add in just enough room to fit in. Uh-oh, I'm going to get damaged here. We should be able to fit in just enough space to add the, oh god, snake? Snake. Spider. Why did I say snake? My god, imagine there were snakes and like giant anacondas in the swamp. That'd be terrifying. Anyway, like I said, we're going to just add in a little bit more up here, and that should allow me to fit in everything I need for the manufacturers. Well, that took me a whole lot longer than I expected it to, but I more or less figured it out where we're going to add the manufacturers in. So needing 12 of them, I ended up just adding a little front section off of here. Probably going to lose power here, yeah. So off the front section of the build here, I extended it out enough exactly to fit the 12 manufacturers in this black section here. And that'll still allow me to have a double wide path of my shiny concrete going all the way around. And then because I just basically blew it out from here, it all kind of lines up going all the way around. So you have a more or less a really nice grid pattern, sort of. The only time it really gets cut up is when you're coming through here off the elevator, which isn't the best. I kind of wish I had flopped this around to where this section was actually over here, and then you would have just a straight shot out from the elevator. But I mean, not the worst thing in the world to kind of just come here, turn a little bit, and then you'll come down here to get to the back side of the factory. Maybe we'll put a second elevator in, maybe on like that side or something, just for getting around a little faster, so you don't have to walk all the way to and from. But I think that will work for in terms of the layout and the design. So that's where our manufacturers can be. And then we'll end up taking, we're actually going to take these out now because we're not doing cooling systems in this build. But that'll at least know now we have everything sort of laid out properly and sized up to put in the rest of the machines and then get everything all hooked up. And then I feel like we should basically be able to get this done by part 4. This is part 2 right now. So should be able to third part where we'll actually put down the rest of these machines. And then part 4, we can actually worry about bringing everything in. We'll put in some last minute decorations, and then we can call it a factory build. And then I think we can go from there. Yeah, I appreciate you guys being here again for another episode. Sorry if it's a little shorter and not as full as much entertainment as usual. Just kind of getting through this whole moving process, and then we'll be back to normal, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Just kidding. Let's do a little bit of decorations to end things off. I think we'll head down to the pump house on the lower section here. We'll finish off that little walkway we got to do over towards where they're actually set up. And then maybe we'll try doing like a little like roof over them. I don't want to like fully encase them. I think I'm going to leave it sort of like an open concept sort of thing. So let me just kind of run.
Useful things.
I am doing useful things, Ada. What are you talking about? This is always useful. Gotta make it look pretty. Even though I may not come back down here after I'm done this build. Alright, so I'm basically just going to bring my catwalk along here. I'm going to leave this little spire thing open. I think that'd be a cool thing to kind of include in like the research facility type vibe we're going for here. But I think essentially what we'll do then is we'll have a little split part where we can access the pumps right here. So I'll probably put the little junction here. And then maybe I'll even put one that goes down here. So maybe we can just put the catwalk intersection just like this as we go in through every direction. And then we'll put like one catwalk going that way. And then I think this one we'll probably have to put down pretty much right away. And then this one can kind of just keep going off in this direction. I'm going to zoom these out actually. And then we'll do a stair for this one. Oh yeah, right down into the swamp water. There we go. A little 4-way split. So down here would be like you can come down into the swamp. Oh man, little sloshing sounds and everything. And then you come down this side. I had to go down this side because otherwise you end up just actually, I guess technically I could flip it around into either way. We could do it actually here. So you know what we'll do? We'll do a T-junction. Like that. And then we'll do stairs down either side. And I just need to zoom some flooring through here. Just like that. And that'll be our little access point for the pumps here. And then we'll continue on. I'll add in like little supports underneath as we go as well. So I'll do it basically the way I was doing it before. Is if we take our... Oh, you know what? Instead of using the painted beams, let me try using the H-beams here. Let me see if I can make them look cool or not. And then we'll take my beam connector. Actually, no beam connector. Beam support on top like that. And then I should be able to nudge this one into place. How does that look? And take this, make this unpainted. Yeah, I think that looks cool actually. It looks a little bit more heavy duty than just the beam, I think. So we'll go with that for down here, and we'll put those in spots all the way around basically. Make sure it's not clipping through the top. Perfect. Yeah, I like the way that looks a lot actually. Yeah, something like that. We'll just do little supports like that all the way along. That one is facing, I actually kind of like the way that one's facing better. So I think what I'll do is I'll turn this one. Grab that. Actually, like, how do I choose the orientation of how it's facing? I mean, I guess that works too. Yeah, I like the way that looks a lot better. Alright, I got this pathway finished all the way to the actual water pumps now. So I basically put the bend right here by the pipes. You can still access that part over there. I mean, you could walk all the way along here in the bottom if you wanted to, but I kind of like this like raised up platform. Kind of reminds me of like a boardwalk actually. It's pretty cool. So you can come all the way down here, take these stairs down to here, and that'll bring you to where the water pumps are here. And so we're just going to fill in the foundations around here, just to give it at least a double wide all around, I think. So I'll also bring this along the back here. And then we'll have to take out any of these little logs and stuff that we have in here. There we go. Okay, so I got a little pathway all the way around. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try, like I said, I want to try and keep it like more of an open concept. So what if I took small frame pillar, Might be a little too small. Might go big frame pillar here. We'll go about right here. We'll bring those up to about... Actually, that might work. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll go right here. Also bring it up 4. And then I was thinking that I would have like a roof, like a very slight slanted roof kind of sitting on top. So if we go to roof 2 meter and put it across the top like this, it just goes all the way down. We come to this side, do the same thing. Sort of like that. And then I could either make it flat coming across the top, or I can make it come to a point. And I think I actually really like the way that looks. So yeah, we'll do the big frame. I wish I could kind of fit something just sort of in there, just to fill that in, but I don't think I actually can. But I mean, from down here, you won't really actually notice it that much anyway. It'll look kind of like it's just sitting on top anyway. So I think that'll kind of work. It's not the most accurate thing that it's attached to, but I do like the way it looks. Although these look like they need to be adjusted a little bit. There we go. I switched the roof to 1 meter roofs instead of the 2 meter, and now there's what? Wow. There's now much less of a gap in between those now, so it actually looks more like it's sitting on there properly. So I think basically what I can do now is just kind of fill that in. I think I'll turn these to, if I go to materials, make these into a metal roof instead of the typical just factory setting. Make this all kind of industrial looking down here. I actually have to fill the rest of this in. How far does this need to go? Probably to about here, right? And then we'll grab our frame pillars, put those in. Yeah, I think that looks pretty cool actually. So they're kind of like covered up, but they're not too close to the ceiling where they'd be like clipping through or anything. Kind of like a natural just roof over top. And then maybe we'll put like some sort of like metal beams in between for like extra support. I feel like that's probably not necessary. Maybe some modern railings around the water pumps just for safety. Something like that. There we go. We got railings all the way around the water. And then I think what I want to do to make getting over here easier, or at least like checking the water pumps a little bit easier, is I want to put in another set of stairs here. Maybe we can actually take this piece out right here and put it right there. And then we'll grab the straight catwalk. And we'll just drag this all the way across here. Then we can come back down the other side. Grab the stairs here. Take out this little railing. There we go. So that'll be for like, should be able to reach the water extractors from here. We can? Awesome. Okay, perfect. So that way you can just kind of access them from the back. Could have maybe gone one closer from this. No, then it would have clipped through. So I think I actually like the one we went with. So we'll have that one there. And then I'll also put the same supports we've been putting in. I'll put that. We'll just kind of send it into the water here. So we grab some H-beams. Here's the middle of this one. Probably right there. Oh yeah, right there. Okay, so we'll just send that down into the water. We'll pretend like it's actually going down all the way. Throw the beam support on top. Make it unpainted. Nice. Okay, so it still looks like things are supporting the walkway of going through here, so it won't look too out of place. Now, the last thing I wanted to do was I wanted to try and put some like signs onto here for some lighting. Now, obviously, that's not really going to work if I just try and do it the natural way. So, I mean, I guess I could do the wall-mounted floodlights, but I'd have to put in either like, I guess I could put them here, or I'd have to put in like some sort of like wall and then like delete the wall and clip it in. I think what we could do instead is if we went to where each water extractor is, and I'll maybe try using the beams, and then maybe that'll allow me to actually get the signs to where I want them to go, or at least closer anyway. Let's put that one right there. Let's try clipping a sign to that. Okay, so really the only way I could get it to look like sit on an angle at all is to use the beam method like this. I tried clipping it through the ceiling a little bit more, but then it won't register that the beam's actually there. So I think what I'll do is I'll lock it in position and I'll see if I can nudge it up a little bit like that. Okay, so that's not too bad. If I can get in a position like that. Alright, that took a real long time, but I think I figured out a way that I like having it set up. So I put the beam in here, right where the ceilings meet, and then I just rotate it a little bit. And then that gives me a decent angle of the lighting. It's not like exact, doesn't match exactly. I couldn't match it exactly with the roof tilt. So I got it about as close as I could. And then now if I take this away, it should look more or less like it's actually mounted to the ceiling. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm gonna have to do that all the way along here, which is gonna take me quite some time to do, but I think it'll look cool in the end, especially if I get them it's pretty much right over the center-ish of the water extractor here. It's basically right in the middle of this foundation here, so it shouldn't be too hard to match up. So basically I go from over here, go to this corner, I drag it over to where we're actually in line here. But before I drag it all the way over, I'm just going to rotate it a little bit like that. As you can see, I can't get it to be exactly like the ceiling. You can get it pretty close, but it's about as close as I can get it. And then if you turn it one more, I think it'll face it a little bit more towards the thing, but I think this is probably fine. And there we go. So we got the sign mounted on there. You just hold control to snap it in like that. And that should sit over top. And then we delete the pillar, or delete the thing here. And then it looks like it's mounted to the ceiling. So I think that'll work. Let me just take a quick look at it with our advanced lighting on, aka global illumination, to make sure it looks cool for people that actually can play with this on. I like it. It's a little laggy, but it's okay. I like it a lot, actually. I think it looks cool. So basically, I think I'll just do that. We'll do like 3 on each side. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then that'll be the cool pump house step. That actually looks pretty cool. I like that a lot. So hopefully you guys, I think that'll bring us to the end of the episode today for now, though. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one for real. If you got any cool ideas for some cool decorations, like I said, for the system down here, let me know in the comments down below or join the Discord. And I will see you guys in the next episode.